one's going to be fun, guys, because the voting was one of the closest I've ever seen. Here's the question. Today's hashtag daily debate question for at MMA Junkie Radio. Undefeated fighters Michael Page and AJ McKee enter Bellator 221 with the 2 longest winning streaks in the promotion's history. Do you think they'll both remain unbeaten? Let me fill in the blanks. AJ McKee faces Pat Curran, a former featherweight champion. Michael Venom Page faces Douglas Lima, a former welterweight champion. So they don't have tomato cans ahead of them. But yet, they are still undefeated. Here's how you can answer the question. Yes, they both will remain undefeated. No, they both won't remain undefeated. And I think by that, you're saying they're both losing. And then this one is where you can say only McKee. That means he wins and MVP loses. And only Page, vice versa. Goes?
It's a nightmare of a question because my answer would have been, I think one of them's gonna lose, but you're making me pick which one. For sure, I don't think either one. I don't think they're both coming out with victories here because the competition is very, very tough. They're great fighters, but this is very good competition. Both former champions. So if I had to pick one of them to lose out of those two, I think it's gonna be Michael Venom Page. I'm gonna go with him.
So you're going with only McKee.
McKee will win, yeah.
Yeah, Page will lose and only McKee will win.
Yeah, I'm not feeling great about it, but that's what I'm doing.
A fellow Manchester United fan.
I know.
You turn your back on.
I know.
All right, Richard?
I agree with Goes. And
thank you, Richard.
I agree with him because, yes, they are facing 2 former champions, but in Curran's case, you're talking about a very long layoff. Longest layoff of his career, 1.5 years, I think, at this point. And I know that during that time... For Curran.
Got it.
Yeah, because of injuries. And I know that during that time, in fact, I just interviewed him for the podcast a couple of days ago, and he was talking about how during that time he had a new baby, he worked a day job,
firefighter, right?
Huh?
Is he a firefighter?
No, pipe fitter.
Pipe fitter, okay.
Asked construction, stuff like that. Asked a lot of questions to himself about did he want to continue and things like that. Now, I'm sure come fight time, he's going to be as competitive as he can be. But I think if you have to designate an X factor, it could be that he's had a real 18 months or so of some soul searching and indecision.
All right, so let me give you what I think is going to happen. I think basically they're both facing former champions, except Lima's still in his prime. And I think Curran, respectfully, he hasn't been fighting as well as he was when he was at the top. And he was battling, Daniel Strauss was one of his big opponents. Yeah, I would say only McKee. However, Page is really unorthodox, and he covers so much ground. And Lima, I don't think has seen anything like Page before. And not that Page has seen a world champion. You don't just call world champions to come in and mimic another world champion, former world champion, I should say. But still, I think you can find someone that has the all-around skill set of what a Douglas Lima can bring to the table. But MVP really is. You have to call what, like Genki Sudo or maybe Israel Adesanya or John Jones, like guys that can just switch stances and mess around. And I don't know, man. So part of me wants to go with yes. And what if he is the truth?
I dare you. Go with yes.
Here's what I don't. Okay, if you tell me they're only standing, it's a yes. If they're only standing, they're going. It's a yes. But it's Lima's all-around game is what's scary here.
One of them's gonna lose.
Yeah. All right. Here's how it broke down. No, that they won't remain undefeated. 30%. Yes, that they both will remain undefeated. 24%. Only McKee. 26%. Only Page. 20%.
Yes is a ballsy answer.
It is, but
Most
I'm telling you, if Lima's stubborn,
down, these are tough fighters they're facing.
If Lima's stubborn and he stands too long, these guys use 4-ounce gloves, and if Page puts it on you, you remember what he did to Evangelista Cyborg's skull? Yeah. I mean, he cracked it with a knee. He can cover so much ground. I think Lima would be better served instantly. Go after those calves with the kicks, or maybe just get this fight to the ground, grind him, steal some of that energy or whatever, bank around, but definitely don't want to stand there for too long. Now, I'll read a few of these from Junkie Nation. These are some of the comments that came in. There's levels to this game, and Lima is going to show that. That comes from Bumble Badge MMA on Twitter. The next one is here. He says, possible. You never know what's going to happen in MMA. As long as the fights are good, the result shouldn't matter. At Mr. S Music 9. And he's so true, man. We spent a lot of time breaking these fights, but the good thing is at one point we do get to enjoy it. And I think both of those fights are going to be amazing, man. MVP against Douglas Lima. Remember, that's the Grand Prix. The winner advances to the finals for $1 million. That's pretty huge. And the Grand Prix belt. And if you meet Roy, well, actually, you're going to fight for the world title too, because whoever comes out of Rory McDonald and Neiman Gracie, you're fighting them for that belt. So this has really, really been huge for that promotion. On the McKee Curran side, I believe both guys will make it to their featherweight Grand Prix that starts later this year. But McKee gets a really, really true test here, and he's finally getting these true tests because both of these guys have kind of had the I don't want to say the easier path. It's just that they haven't faced the ranked fighters for a while. So finally, they're getting to that. There you have it. There's today's Daily Debate brought to you by the MMA Junkie Radio team and Richard Hunter from the Phone Booth Fighting Podcast.